Welcome to another episode of Dye with Dom. This time we're going to be recreating my Wendy unit, which is a nice ombre unit. So let's go. As always, I'm going to be using Blonde Me Bleach and Developer. And for my tools, I'm going to be using Framer. I'll have these all listed down below just so you guys can see what I'm using specifically. And then you're going to need some type of comb that you can tease with. So I'm using a 2-to-1 ratio with more developer than bleach powder and prepping my foils so that they're easier to stick on and so that it coats the bottom of the hair. So I already did go ahead and section these out. That will be in another separate video. So definitely go and watch that if you're wondering why it looks like this. But it does help for especially for beginners. So for this color, we're going to be focusing mostly on the mid to ends, more so at the ends because that's where the color lives on this hair. So you're going to be doing a little bit past the midway point and applying the color down to the bottom. We're not teasing as much as we are for other styles such as highlights, just because we want a more opaque color. So we want more color than non-color. So it's going to be a pretty, I guess, flat color, you could say, but we do still want it to be blended, so we are going to go and tease. At the front, we're going to be doing diagonal sections so that we can have a face framing color. So as you can see, I've already parted it out, and that will be part of the parting video, just so you can see the diagonal and kind of understand why it's like that, but it does help with the face framing. I'm also going to be taking the hair that I do color and taking the color up a little bit further towards the front of the wig where your client's face would be, and then creating a diagonal back downwards, as you're going to see in just a second. So as you can see here, I'm taking it up a little bit further and kind of blending it downwards in a diagonal kind of staircase pattern. So this is just going to help it have that face framing, and also it's going to connect it to the back of the hair where the hair is dyed kind of from the mids to the ends. So this is kind of higher than that. So it's going to be a ombre down towards the middle, and it's going to give kind of a circular halo effect when you look at the wig from the back. You always want to make sure that you're saturating the hair all the way through so you get a very even color. And then we're going to move on to the money piece. So for this, we're just doing a C-shaped part. And then you're going to be teasing out a little bit of the hair just so you can have that blend. I do tease a little bit more towards the front because it is the front. And you want to make sure the hair is nice and blended. I do also take the color up a little bit higher for the money piece. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, definitely go and check out my one-on-one dye classes. I will be having them in the winter months. So if you need a little bit more help, or if you want to learn all my tips and tricks, definitely sign up for one of those. They're currently on sale for Black Friday. Now let's move on to the dyeing process. I did use Wella color charm. I'll have them listed down below, so don't worry about that. I didn't end up using all of it just because the hair is pretty short. She's about 14 inches, so I didn't need that much. I just used about maybe half or a little bit less of each bottle, and then I mixed it up with 10 volume developer or 20 volume developer. It really doesn't matter. I didn't want much of a lift. I just wanted the color to deposit, so I think I used 10 here. As you can see, the hair lifted beautifully. For the hair developer, I used 10 volume. Usually I use 7. It was just sold out, so I used 10. And now we're going to be applying this hair color to the hair. For the bleach mixture, I left that on for about another 35 minutes after I had applied all of the color, just to make sure everything was even and nice. And for this hair color, I left it on for another, I believe it was 20 minutes, but just follow the box instructions for what it says to leave it on for. I also did color this hair while it was damp. I know the box does say to color it when it's dry, but I find that this works a lot better for me to actually deposit the color onto the hair evenly. So I do it this way. It still works exactly the same. If you've lifted your hair enough, and obviously we have, she's blonde, it will deposit the color the same way. If you're a little bit worried about that, just up your volume in developers. And now this is the result when it is just air dried. She is a little bit of a natural wave, so we are going to be blow drying her. To prep for that, I'm using a volumizing mousse. Now this is just going to add that volume and also a little bit of shine. And then I'm going to be going in with heat protectant. I'm going to be blowing this out with my comb attachment, or my brush attachment, sorry, with my Shark Flex style, just to get any kinks out of it. I do find that when you are curling hair or when you're doing any type of style, you want to make sure the hair is as stretched as possible, even if it's a straighter texture of hair like this one, just so that you don't have any crinkles in the hair. So I'm doing a little bit of face framing layers here, very, very, very minimal, just kind of like a trim so that it kind of has that little blend when you're going to style it and color it. I also always trim my units, especially when they're colored, so that you can have nice healthy ends and that the wig can look good for a little bit longer before needing another trim. Definitely remember to trim your wigs, guys, because just like any other hair, they do need to be trimmed periodically. So I'm going to go ahead and hot comb the front. When you're hot combing, please remember to do it in sections. I didn't really show it here, but I did do it in sections just to make sure everything is extremely flat. That's how you're going to get the flattest result. And I did go ahead and pluck. I also do have a plucking tutorial if you are wondering. That is on sale as well. The whole plucking, bleaching, everything. That is on sale as well, so definitely go check that out if you need a little bit of help with that as well and want to perfect your results. Now I'm going to go in and curl her. So I'm going to be using the Conair curlers. I use these typically because they are cost effective and I like to recommend it to you guys, and especially for beginners starting out, they're pretty easy to get the hang of. I did just recently also get the T3 curler and I really do like them, so hopefully soon I'll post a video using that one so you guys can kind of see the difference and see which one you would want to purchase. So I think these are 1-inch curls. If not, they are 1.25, I believe. Either way, it gives pretty much the same look to me in my head. These are the curls so far. And look at that shine. This is why we prep before we style. This is the exact reason, to have that nice shine, no frizz, and beautiful holding curls. And then we're going to go in with the Sebastian Shaper hairspray. This is a light hold spray. Usually I do use this one or I use the Canra, just depending on how much hold I want. For these, I curled them a bit tighter than I do want them, so by the time they reach the client, they will be where they need to be. So I just used the light hold today. But you can do either or depending on what you need, or if you're actually going to be wearing the unit, definitely go for the heavier hold so that you can keep the curls that you have. But it's really up to your preference. And then I'm going in with a wide tooth comb to comb them out and fixing up the part area. I always do this after I've styled the hair because I find that it just, gives it that certain like luxury look and it looks done. It looks like someone's taken their time to do this. But this is the final result. As you can see in the back, you can see that little halo effect, and very flat and nice in the front with the lace. And it does have that little bit of money piece and kind of just a nice face framing color. This is a pretty beginner friendly color, so definitely try this one out if you want to. If you're interested in this unit, I am having a Black Friday sale, so definitely stay tuned for that. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.